Hello, welcome along. Here we are now back with pack 87 of the Hachette Lancaster bomber, the Dambuster bomber. And in here we have a very large box. You'll notice it's open because it came in a great big wrinkly plastic bag, so I opened it up. And also enabled me to have a look at the instructions, because just a quick look, because in my last video, not the last one, yeah, the last video, I glued in this this door in the back here, and I was sent a message I'd done it wrong, I shouldn't have glued it. And the problem is when you're actually on camera, and invariably I can't see the magazine very well at all because of the reflections on the page. It's either a case of I have the light on, you can't see it, and if I don't have a light on, I can't see it. So it's better that you see it than me. But yeah, that's why I make small mistakes like that. So I tried to debond it, but for some reason it felt like the debonder attacked the plastic. It's a funny sort of soft plastic. So it broke the pins off, so I've just drilled them out and put some brass pins in. So now that fits in there like so. Come on, get it lined up. There we go. That fits in like I don't know why it shouldn't be glued, but we shall see. So here we are in Unpacking 87. We've got all the contact details down there and everything. There's a link in the description below so you can go and have a look at the model yourself. So it looks like we've got a lot in this one, so we're going straight into the build. Okay, and we're going to end up with two fuselage halves, so we're not going to attach it to the actual fuselage yet. So as usual, have a look at the stories in here. Built by Metro Vickers, Manchester in the spring of '44, Me-8 flew through more than 100 missions during World War II and survived the conflict. There you can see the crew there with the Lancaster there. It doesn't mention if it's a B.1 or B.II. I can check from my records what it was, but it doesn't say it there. And you can see how maybe it says here. Can't see anything about B.1 or B.III. But anyway, there it is. So there's the ground crew. There's the names of the ground crew. There you are. And then here we're looking at what's coming up in the next pack. Looks like we're going to be making a start on that rear turret, so that's good. That's very good. Lots and lots of tiny parts there. And hopefully we'll be able to fit the guns without those drilled holes. Maybe they shouldn't have the holes, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll open up the box as we usually do. So we cut the sellotape. There's going to be a million bags in here, I can tell. Okay, so we've got the main starboard interior fuselage wall there, and then as I said, we've got a million bags of parts. So that can go in for the recycling. I'm going to get the magazine up here out of the way and then put the light on so we can see what we're doing. So we'll get all these parts out of their bags. It's quite handy, got an odd sized bag there. So I always keep all these bags and recycle them. But, quite often they're, you know, you think, why do they use so many bags? Remember in the last one we had 3 lots of cables and 3 separate bags to put them in. They could have just put them all in one bag. It seems daft. Oh, come on. This is the trouble with opening everything live on camera, is that you have to wait for me to unpack it. Get those bits out of there. Okay, so right then, so we've got the fuselage frame. We've got 4 of those little things there, 87J. They're parachutes. They're weird looking parachutes. So we've got 4 of those. We've got 4 of the parachute buckets. We've got a bracket. A first aid box, is that? Yes. First aid box. We've got these flares. Those bits and pieces there. We've got a ladder. And then we've got the yellow framework for the rear end there. Right. So, coming over here, we have the starboard fuselage half, and we are going to fit take the port, is this the port or the starboard? This is the starboard. Take the port fuselage frame from the previous issue and the cable 87N marked Q. Okay. And what we're going to do is fit the LED in a hole in the fuselage frame at the top of the channel near the front, curved yellow arrow. That's not the front, that's the back. Fit the LED in a hole in the fuselage frame at the top of the channel near the front. Curve the yellow eye. Run the cable down the channel. Okay, so that's good. So we've got to bend these wires. So we're going to bend these down at 90 degrees like that. We're going to put that LED into that hole and then bring these wires down this channel. Okay, so it's going to come around there. And under the step, dotted line, run the cable down and under the step, then along the inside of the frame. So it's going to go along here. Both the cable 86N and 87N should run inside the frame at the rear as shown right. Okay, so this one's going to come this is going underneath there, like that, and then it's going to come along here. This is as clear as mud. So where are the connectors going? So what I'm going to do is grab some tape and just tape these together here. So we can hold them together like that. Oh, come on. That's going to go around there. You would have thought they'd given us little clips or something for this, wouldn't you? So those two are just going to sit there like that, I'm guessing. I can't see what they're trying to show us here. Okay, so that's that. Right, so these are all going to end up together down here. So they're going to plug into those connectors on the wings, I expect. Okay, so that's that one done. Right, take the starboard fuselage fuselage frame, should I say. Okay, and check the fit of the two handrails 87B and 87C. So this is 87C. So that one's going to go into those two top holes there. Where's my tweezers? So that one's going to go in there and it's very loose, so we need some glue on that. These may be glued if necessary, so I've got some super glue here on my Pringles lid. So just dip those pins in, move them up and down in the holes a bit. Here we go, that's that one in there. And then we got this one here, 87D. It looks like the longer bit goes forward. Sorry, 87B, not D. So that's the same. So what we'll do here is we will take some of our super glue, put it in the hole, and in the hole. It says use a little glue if necessary. Those holes are like chucking a sausage up Park Street, we used to say in Bristol. Okay, 87B and 87C. Okay, fit the bracket 87D on the inside of the frame 87A. So here's the bracket. So that's going that way up. And that's going to go into there. Again, that's going to need gluing. You can see it's what it's got on there. It's got like a chamfer on the top. And you've got a chamfer on the peg to make sure you put it in the right way. Okay, so that's going into there. And we're going to fit the first aid box into the panel next to the door opening. So that's going to go into there, and that's a nice snug fit. But we'll put a bit of glue on it anyway because we don't want things falling off, do we? So we'll put a little drop in there. And we'll put a little drop in there, just like so. And then that can go in like that. Alright. And then here, fit the D-shaped peg on the base of the compass 87F into the wider end of the compass 87G. So we've got a D-shaped peg and a D-shaped hole. So that pushes it in nice and snug, no need for any glue on that. Fit the compass into the housing 87H. A tab on the narrow end of the 87G fits into a slot in the housing. These parts may be glued if necessary. So this is going to go, I think it's symmetrical, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it's symmetrical, so that's going to go in there. And it says you may use some glue if necessary. Well, you must use some glue because it's, again, like chucking a sausage up Park Street. So that's going into there like that. It's such a loose fit, the glue isn't kicking. So I'm going to grab a drop of kicker. I've just ordered some new kicker from Brooks Models. There we go. There we are. Right, so that's gone in there like that. And now we'll turn over the page. That's staying in position. Yeah. Turn over the page, and we're going to take this and fit this frame that way up into those 4 holes there. And that's going to need gluing, so what we'll do is we'll put a drop of glue on each of these 4 pegs. I wouldn't normally glue the peg, I'd normally glue the hole, but they're so loose it doesn't matter because the glue will be taken down into the hole. Sounds like an A400 going over. It's not, it's a helicopter. Right, so that's go like that. Now then, take the first parachute 87J and fit the peg in the socket on the first housing, glue in place if necessary. Repeat on the remaining 3. So these look as though they're symmetrical, so that's going to go in there. Again, it says use glue if necessary, but it's not necessary, they're a nice snug fit. Oh, that one isn't. Yes, it is. We can always glue them in after if they fall out. There we are, they've gone in there like that. Fit the first 2 parachutes in place near the forward end of the fuselage frame. Take 2 pegs on the back of each housing, fit into pairs of holes in the frame as indicated. Check the second diagram on step 9 opposite to ensure you have the parts the right way round. So there you go, you can see them there. So these are actually going to be sort of hanging down, so the pins are going uppermost and they need to be glued. Okay, so I'm going to put a drop of glue in there, and a drop of glue in there, and a drop of glue in those 2 there as well. Okay, so we'll put one in there like that, and one in there like that. So that's that one done. And then we've got another 2 going here. I'm just going to assume we need glue. So these, I don't think we're going to need glue in there. Those holes look tiny. Oh, that's going the other way up, so this one's facing upwards. I'm sure that's incorrect. They're showing us to put that one into those lugs there, but I'm sure it's going to go into the lugs at the top. I'm sure it's supposed to go into those there. Okay, so that's going in there. Those 2 lugs will not go into those 2 holes there. They're going into the 2 holes above because they're much smaller than the ones in the bottom. That's just like a support. And then on the back here, we've got 2 holes there, and that's gone in there nice and snug. There's the tail gunner's parachute there. Okay, alright, and then we've got the crew ladder is positioned over the door. It's 4 pegs. We've got to make sure we get it the right way round. So there's 4 pegs on there, and that's gone in snug, so that's going to stay in place. Okay, and then coming over the page, we've got these flame floats. So we've got D-shaped holes in these and D-shaped pins. They don't fit very well at all, so we're going to glue that one. Get it the right way round. It's difficult to see in this light. I can't see the flat on the D. That's the problem. There we go, that's gone in now. You can see they're a very loose fit. I'm using my VMS glue here from Rob over at Brooks Models, and oops, and it's the VMS, so it doesn't dry straight away, so it's not a very fast drying glue. So these are going to go into that square or rectangular hole there. So they're going to go in like that, and they're a nice snug fit. Actually, they do need a bit of glue in there, so I'm going to come in. No, I'm actually going to glue it from the front, I think. I'm going to put a drop of glue on that hole there, just like that. That's going to go into there, just like so. There we are. So that's it. So they're saying there we've got the... They're telling you to run this down inside the fuselage, and then they show it all tied up in knots. So there we go. So that's in there like that. I'm going to put some super glue down here. Okay, I'm going to pull that cable back a touch, and then I'm going to put a bit of tape to hold it in place. I don't remember, did I glue these or did I just tape them? It looks like I just taped them. I think when the outer shell goes on, it will hold it all in place. But for now, I'll twist that wire around. There we go. So there we are. That's our fuselage halves all done. So we can look at part 88 next, can't we? And in pack 88, as I said, we've got the rear turret tail section, tail turret window, floor and frame, light fixture and reflector, cartridge rails, cable, LED magnets and various screws. So there we are. Right, see you all back for that one. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.